Welcome to Game 12 of the 2014 Greendale Panther football season. Tonight we have a Level 3 matchup for the WIAA state playoffs as the number 2 seeded Waukesha West Wolverines are visiting the number 1 seeded Greendale Panthers. Waukesha West hails from the Classic 8 Conference and comes in tonight with a 9-2 record, while Greendale comes from the Woodland West Conference and comes in with an 11-0 record. The Wolverines would kick first to start the game. Right off the bat, you could see that Waukesha West was much taller on the defensive front. It was also apparent that the Wolverines' perimeter players were much more physical than what Greendale has faced thus far. Greendale, however, holds the speed card, which it used as they put together 8 plays, taking the ball all the way to West 31 before turning the ball over on downs. The Wolverines' offense would now take over. You kind of had a clue what their game plan was after the first few plays as they elected to take the ball straight ahead against a much smaller Panther front line. It took them 9 plays to reach the end zones on a 1-yard plunge by freshman running back Peter McCudden for the game's first score. Kicker Alec Duran made the extra point, making the score 7-0 with 4:23 left in the fast-moving first quarter of play. After the ensuing kick, Greendale would start their next drive from their 30. They would pick up right where they left off as they continue to attack the edges with the run and the pass. On the 9th play of the drive, Greendale was sitting on West 15. It was here where quarterback Josh Ringelberg would throw another bubble screen, of which he has done several times already, only instead of Angel Ramirez running with the ball, he stopped and threw a pass to a wide-open David Johnson in the end zone for a 15-yard scoring strike. Panther kicker Josh Michaels made the point after, and the game was all knotted up at 7s with 1:19 left in the first quarter of play. The Wolverines would start their next drive from their 41. We were going to see if the Greendale Panther defense could shake off that first drive and make a stop on this one. This time the Panthers did make a stop after back-to-back tackles for losses, which forced West to punt from Greendale's 47. After a nice roll, Greendale would start from their 14. Using their speed, it didn't take them very long to get the ball to the other side as they soon found themselves on the Waukesha West 14. It was here that Greendale made their first crucial mistake as Ringelberg, who was looking for Ty Ramirez on a deep crossing route, let him a bit too much, which gave one of the Waukesha defenders a clear shot at intercepting the ball. He would return that pick to the Panthers 13. West's offense would now take to the field and continue with the ground and pound game. The theory behind this was to slowly keep moving the ball and to keep Greendale's fast-moving, highly potent offense off the field. A whopping 15 plays later, West found the end zone again on a 12-yard pass from quarterback Connor Blount to Dyson Chimera on a drag route across the middle. The point after try was good, making the score 14-7 with just 49 seconds left in the first half. The Panthers would start their next drive from their 24. They have the ability to get down the field quickly, but the question was, how are they going to do it? Well, with clever use of the sidelines and timeouts, they did manage to get the ball to West 28, but because of time, they were forced to line up for what was going to be a 43-yard field goal attempt. After a good snap and hold, Michaels would get the kickoff, but it would be way short, thus ending the half. All of a sudden, there were whistles blowing all over the place as West was flagged for running into the kicker, so the ball would be moved up 5 more yards, and Michaels would get another crack at an untimed down. The second attempt was blocked, so Waukesha West would go into the half with a 14-7 lead. Things wouldn't get any easier for Greendale as the Wolverines would be getting the ball first to start the second half. This meant that the Panther defense, who spent a lot of time on the field in the first half, would have to head out again. West would start this drive from their 38. They went right back to their power running game, but this is when West finally made their first mistake as they fumbled on Greendale's 34, of which Brad Lockman would recover. This was only Greendale's second defensive stop of the night. With a little life now back on the Panther sideline, Ringelberg and the boys would take to the field. Continuing to mix up the play calling very well, they finally reached the end zone on a 1-yard plunge by Ringelberg. Point after try was good, tying this game up at 14 with 6:10 left in the third quarter. After the kick, Waukesha West would start their next drive from the 22. Here again, they were doing one of their long ball controlling drives, but they eventually turned the ball over on downs after 11 plays on Greendale's 32. This would be Greendale's third defensive stop of the night. The now energized Panther offense would take to the field once again. After some big-time plays by big-time players, Greendale was in the end zone again as Ringelberg ran it in from 16 yards out, capping off a 4-play, 68-yard scoring drive. The point after try was good as Greendale took the lead for the first time in the game by a score of 21-14 with 3 seconds left in the third quarter. It was now time to see if the Panther defense could keep the trend going with another stop. The Wolverines would begin their next drive from their 20. Lo and behold, they managed to force the Wolverines to punt after 4 plays from their 45. With momentum clearly on Greendale's side, they would start their next drive from the 42 after a very poor punt. 3 plays later, disaster struck for a second time for Greendale as Tremere leaped high into the air from his defensive end position and tipped a pass that ended up into one of his teammates' hands, who then returned it all the way to Greendale's 4. 2 plays later, West would score on a 4-yard roll-up pass to McCudden for another Wolverine touchdown. Durant made the kick, tying the game back up at 21 with 7:41 now left in the game. Greendale would have to work quickly to get that momentum back that they just had 3 plays ago. They would begin this drive from their 31. That didn't happen as the Panthers were now making mistakes on offense with people running into each other, poor blocking, an incomplete pass, and a penalty that forced them to have to line up for a punt after 5 plays. Just when things couldn't get any worse, the snap on the punt sailed over the head of Angel Ramirez, who had all he could do to track the ball down and get a kickoff, but it would be very short. Just like that, West had the ball on Greendale's 13. The Wolverines clearly had the momentum back on their side now. 2 plays later, they reached the end zone again on a 1-yard run by McCudden for his 3rd TD of the night. The extra point was good, and just like that, West regained the lead by a score of 28-21 with 4:58 left in the game. With plenty of time, Greendale would take to the field and start from their 31. They were able to move the ball against West, but they were making it very difficult as the clock was now ticking down. With the ball now resting on West's 10-yard line and about 12 seconds left, Ringelberg took the shotgun snap and looked like he was trying to throw a pass, but instead he took off running and crossed the goal line with 1 second left for a game-tying score! Unfortunately, that wasn't the case as there was a block and a back penalty called, so that tying touchdown would not count as a result of the penalty. The Panthers still had one last chance as they lined up on the 12 with just 1 second left on the clock. On the snap of the ball, a Wolverine linebacker blitzed off the left side of which wasn't blocked very well, and Ringelberg would be dropped just 12 yards away for a season-ending sack. The final score would be Waukesha West 28, Greendale 21. The magical season was now over for Greendale as they fell 2 games short of getting back to Madison. Going into tonight's game, it was well known that Waukesha West would undoubtedly be the toughest team that Greendale has faced in the playoffs thus far. When it was all said and done, the Wolverines' size and their dominance on the line of scrimmage, along with all of the Panther mistakes, is what contributed to Greendale's loss. The Panthers would finish the 2014 season at 11-1, while the Wolverines would move on to the state semifinal game against Waunakee for the right to go to Madison. Even though Greendale did lose, you can't take away what they have accomplished this season as they put together one of the greatest shows on turf in the state of Wisconsin. I'm sure this one will sting for a while too, but as Coach Rob Stoltz told the team after the game, yes, it hurts, but this isn't the worst thing that can happen in life. Life will go on as it always does. The main thing to remember is the ride that we enjoyed getting this far. And of course, the worst part about any season-ending loss will be saying goodbye to the seniors that helped make the Greendale Panthers who they were. On behalf of the Greendale Panther Touchdown Club, Greendale High School, family and friends from around the world, thank you, seniors, for everything you have done, for you will not be forgotten. You guys were truly fun to watch. And on a different note, while bringing you these highlights was fun for the last 9 years, it's with a heavy heart that this highlight video will be the last one that I do, for I will be retiring from the Panther program after 40 years. I really enjoyed being a part of this very special program, for it was an honor to be able to contribute to it in my own special way. It sure was a pleasure playing, coaching, scouting, videotaping, fundraising, and supporting one of the greatest high school football programs in the state. I will take with me a lifetime of memories that I will never forget. On behalf of the Greendale Panther Touchdown Club and my partners Chris Sobiak and Chuck Cairns, this is Rodney Matrish signing off. So long, everybody!